Hey guys, it's Jay Leo here, the founder of MWF, the Michigan Wrestling Federation, and I am here with the one, the only, the Force, and he is one of the original members of the MWF roster. And actually, some exciting news, but let's start off by saying, how excited are you that MWF is finally its own brand?
The Force could not be more excited because I spent a little bit of time already here and I had two opponents. So it got a little old. As much as I loved fighting those two opponents, the Force got born. So having more opponents on a bigger scale is going to be quite exciting.
Now, it is my understanding that you have a match already scheduled. You don't know what kind of match it is because your opponent is the MWF Continental Champion, Alex the Gladiator Kingsley. Now, you don't know the match yet because he is the champion and he chooses the stipulation, but how have you prepared mentally and physically for a bout against someone like the Gladiator?
The Force is in some trouble. So looking at how Alex works is difficult because I fought in him. And I realize that he may be small, but he is powerful. But I also realize that he can be in the ring for a long time and just be fine. So I'm trying to think what stipulations could he choose. He could choose submission, falls count anywhere, last man standing, extreme rules, who knows. And so I've been trying to prepare myself for for every possible option. There are a lot, so I'm still not done, but I'm getting there.
Now, you have held the MWF World Heavyweight Championship in about before, and after losing that title and having an official contract, so all these titles would become in our record books at MWF. Why the Continental Championship?
For one, I've already held the heavyweight. I already wore that hat. Plus, I already beat the person who's holding it. So why go after it again? And I have a score to settle with Kingsley. We've fought in three times, and I have yet to win once.
Now, another question. Do you have a some sort of warning or some sort of thing you would like to say to your opponent, Alex the Gladiator Kingslayer? Because I personally have noticed you two have kind of a different style, whereas yours you focus on your strength and your size, while he kind of views himself as this super athlete, this gift to this gift from God to pro wrestling. So, is there anything you'd like to say to your opponent before you have your match, or at least find out your stipulation?
Kingsley, you fought me before. You fought the old me. The forces changed. Last few times that we fought, I wasn't at the peak of my career. Maybe I'm still not there, but I am stronger, I am faster, and I am more determined than I was the last three times that we fought. So be ready, because you're going to be facing a whole new beast.
Well, that is absolutely amazing, and it's so cool that we're going to be able to have this match. Now, we do not have a date for our show right now, so if you are interested in knowing more about when our shows are going to happen and some details, go ahead and subscribe to our YouTube channel, the MWF YouTube channel. And now, Force, I do have some more questions if you have the time tonight. We have some new signees. And I'd like to ask you about a little bit about them, and you give me your impressions on some of these wrestlers, if you don't mind. So first, I'd like to start in our very small women's division right now. We don't have too many women wrestlers, but we have two amazing competitors. Now, one of them is not officially signed yet, so I'm going to keep that one on the down low. But the one person who is scheduled to fight at our first event, it goes by the name Bella Rose. Now, Bella Rose is kind of a wild card. She really works with the crowd and is very just family friendly oriented performer. What are some things you kind of perceive hearing that name and the small things you've heard of her so far?
from what I've heard, she's a very sweet person, but that could play to her downfall in a match. If you look, play as much as I like playing the good guy. I don't like being the bad guy. However, I do realize that being too much of a good guy can land you in some trouble. And while from what I've heard she is good at what she does, I feel that her kindness might not do her justice in the ring.
Very, very, very wise from you, the Force. Now, here's a cruiserweight in our division. He goes by the name Zeke Scott, and he is a very athletic, very gifted young wrestler, and he is going to be in a one of our first cruiserweight bouts on the card. Um, like I said, very fast, very nimble. His finisher is a very wicked and fast-paced leg drop, which leg drops are like you go back to Hulk Hogan, which a leg drop could finish a man in a match. But nowadays wrestling, he had to change that finisher. And to be honest, I've been hit with his finisher before. It's good. It's effective. So, what do you think of the young, very young Zeke Scott?
Zeke Scott. So before I go into to what I think of him, I will say that he is talented. I have seen what he can do. He is truly a cruiserweight. He knows what he's doing his with his smaller body. He can really throw it around like a freaking weapon. But I think he's overconfident.
Hmm.
I think he will. I think that could really not help him out. I feel like he's almost has the opposite of Bella Rose.
Hmm.
I feel like he could get a little too confident in a match and be one of the people who starts gloating before they have secured a victory.
Hmm. Very, very, very smart. Now, here's one of our newer talents, and I know very little about this man. He's very, very dark and quiet and shrouded in mystery, but he goes by the name Salem Black. Now, what I've heard so far is he's not very well known, but when I ask around, no one seems to want to talk about him. Apparently, he's just some presence, this dark entity within the professional wrestling world, and I mean, he's a main title guy. What do you think? How do you think he's going to fit in here at NWF if he's has so much mystery around his name?
Everyone is terrified of him. Everyone is so many people are too afraid to even step in a ring with Salem Black. The Force is not.
Oh, so
He can't handle it.
so you're saying that there's a possibility we'll see Salem Black eventually have a match with the Force?
Well, I can almost guarantee it.
Calling out Salem Black, I like it. I like it. Now, here's another cruiserweight, and he is a very, very new performer in this sport. He is very upbeat, and he's very play it by the rules, play it safe, be respectful. Chris Hope. Now, Chris Hope has a very, very well maneuvered finisher. He does the wing clipper, and then a form of a super kick he calls the halo breaker. Now, he's very fast, very agile, and he can hit you with his finisher just like that. But his good side might be his downfall. Fall. Comments?
I have to agree. It's the same. It's almost the same. Same lane as the Bella Thorne, but on a much higher scale. Because Bella Thorne, she's nice. She plays it fair. She lets break the rules. However, she is not afraid to do things like give a roll up, something like that. Whereas Chris Hope, he avoids that altogether.
Hmm.
Anything that might be considered cheap, out of the picture. The Force has worked with Chris Hope a couple times, and it it could and very, very much likely will be his downfall.
Now, we already mentioned him at the very beginning. Our current MWF Continental Champion, Alex the Gladiator Kingsley, the super athlete, as he's starting to call himself. And I know we gave a lot about him earlier, but any like last minute things, like maybe throw out like a dream match, or throw out maybe like your basic opinions on where he's gonna fit in here.
So, where he's going to fit in. As much as I hate to say it, he's going to fit into the main title picture for now. He's not going to be there long. I'm going to make sure of that.
Ah,
A
and
dream match.
finally,
I definitely want to see him get taken down by Salem Black.
definitely that will be a great match. Salem Black versus the super athlete, the gladiator, Alex Kingslayer. And now finally, myself, I go by the King, Jay Leo, and my repertoire right now isn't very large. I am the current. I don't know if I have the title here with me. I'm not gonna look for it because we're in an interview right now. But I'm the current MWF heavyweight champion. But I will be putting that title on the line. I don't know against who yet, but in the main event for our first show. Now, we've had matches together. We've worked matches together. And I haven't hit you with my finisher yet. Um, but if you could give a little bit of insight about just kind of my move set and just a little background on me, just to see if you know my background.
Background, I'm not too sure on. You have some, you have some pro wrestling training, some basic wrestling training. Um, and this was just kind of wrestling was just kind of a thing that you decided you wanted to do.
Yeah, well, yeah,
As for
basically.
your moves, there's a reason you have never hit me with them. That is because I am too damn scared to get hit with them.
Yes, my finishing move, the
I'm not gonna
King's.
lie, you have.
Yeah, I do the fireman's carry cutter, King's guillotine. You, of course, are going to debut your new finishing move. You have the ankle lock, your submission move, but you have a new one. You are transitioning from the force bomb, which was a lung blower power bomb, to this new move, which you have debuted the name, but not what the move is. You have titled it
Break, breakneck speed.
Breakneck Speed. So hey, people will guess what it is. Speaking of moves, who do you think has one of the most devastating moves on our roster? So, just a quick overview. I mean, right now, Zeke Scott with his running leg drop. We have Salem Black, who his move he calls the Plague, which is a thunderous, and I mean thunderous, sit out Uranagi. Chris Hope, the wing clipper, as we said before. Alex the Gladiator Kingsley, he calls his Gladiator Slam, which is an overhead. Get this, overhead slam from the standing position, which you have been hit with by him.
Yes, I have. That has put me down and out for multiple matches.
Yes, and I believe. Oh, okay. I think I think I got all of them. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Bella Rose, who has the Sun Drop, which is a hook and ladder or a front a face slam. I don't remember the correct term right now. And then a discus lariat. So right now, I mean, I don't know. We have a lot of good moves on our roster right now. A lot of good finishing maneuvers. Do you have a favorite or like right now, just from hearing it, who you're excited to see their finishing move?
I'm excluding me, you, and Alex because I have seen both of your moves before. So I'm going to go solely off new talent. Um, with new talent, I have to say I am very excited to see Chris Hope and see what he can do
Oh, the
with,
wing clipper.
with the wing clippers.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. I am too. I'm very excited. I'm excited to see Salem Black just be in the ring. To be honest with you,
Oh,
I'm excited to see how or what he how he even pulls off some of the moves. I mean, I heard he has a strike that he called. I don't remember the exact name of it right now, but he's taking down big men and small men and men of all sizes in an instant with this punch. I actually believe it's called. I think it's the blackout, right?
I believe that's correct.
I think so. Um,
I think
but yeah,
so.
um, definitely going to be in the show when we do it. But anyways, this has been a fantastic interview, getting to know our first wrestler and conversation with the wrestlers on the roster. Um, Hopefully, we'll get a response, and soon we can do an update, figure out how you're going to get that title from the Gladiator. Um, I mean, that's just about it for this episode. Is there any last words you'd like to say to anyone on the roster, or your opponent one last time, or?
Everyone in that locker room immediately has my respect for stepping in that ring. However, none of them can handle the force.
Amazing. Thank you so much. This has been The Force. I am Jay Leo. Like I said, if you want to see more of this, subscribe and hit the bell notification on the MWF YouTube channel. And hopefully we'll see you guys at our first show. Like I said, information about that will slowly be being let out after this whole pandemic closes down a little bit. I really hope everyone's staying safe and indoors and healthy during this whole pandemic. And we'll see you guys on the next video.